of all that is. We are here as foot soldiers for what we know to be true, righteous treatment of all of your children. Persons with titles assume that by their position they have authority over those of us who issue titles. No, sir. No, ma'am. No, I am an attorney. No, I am a doctor, and such. The never-ending list of titles presume authority over the jura summa imperii man or woman who chooses to be acknowledged as their very own authority. Our culture has been conditioned to believe that a professional has more authority over one of the people untitled. Our name alone, with its unique vibration, should be our sufficient identity. Yet the structure has been designed to create a caste system of authority and degrees of authority, educational hurdles, indoctrination, and practices, be they law or medicine. The judge in a courtroom sits highest above all in the proceedings. Additionally, to further add to the spectacle of authority, quote, all must rise, end quote, as if in supplication to his or her honor, which in some, if not many, maybe all cases, honor is questionable. The charade is continued by the necessity to be spoken for by a person with the title of attorney, who has been given authority to know the law better than the man or woman who has been named a criminal by persons with uniforms and badge numbers given their authority by unelected policymakers who are holding their position of policy, thus ignoring the Chevron deference doctrine recently overturned. Think DPSSG, think DMV, think committees therein. Think any number of lettered agencies which by their caps alone imply authority, or else. And as commerce is, there's always a price to pay when mislabeled, aka titled, by one of them. This is a plea for sanity, decency, discernment, respect, true honor, heart, and humanity at its core, that all men and women are truly created equal in the eyes of our Lord Creator. Let it be so, and so it is.
Hello, I'm on Oregon, and this is to a friend of mine. We'll call him Bobby. And I'd like to discuss the Marine Corps with the mindset of the people that have the U.S. Marine Corps in their curriculum. Bobby and I are similar in age and similar in background in many, many ways. He was in the Navy he was in the Marine Corps when I was in the Navy. Our times overlapped. Excuse me. We went to the same schools, Memphis, Tennessee, and so forth, at different times together, studying the same thing, doing the same job in the fleet. And the difference in mindset, I believe, between those that chose Navy and those that chose Marine Corps, when we were in it was a choice. You didn't get drafted into either one. So we're looking at who you give your allegiance to and who you give your oath to and who has your honor. And I do believe that Marines are a bit different, and it's mindset or genetic or whatever. but they're in it and they don't extract from it. They can talk about it. They can think about it, agree with it, and everything, but in basic, they're still Marine with the oath, and it's to the United States. It's the Marine Corps. And it's to uphold and defend and do what the chain of provenance of free men written down for the first time, where we were juris summi imperii, sovereign men and women on the land with our kids, subjects of no one and ruler of no one. So we're taking that situation and we're looking at it across the spectrum of Oregon. My friend, Bobby, for a name. I have another friend named Michael, for a name. He's in California. He's also a Marine. And Bobby and Michael both believe that somehow you can file into the United States of Washington, District of Columbia, Inc. in some form, in some court, and find remedy. They still think that. I find that incredible. After all the education that they have, they still think that you can file paperwork into the California system or the Oregon system of the same bird, whether it's Republican or Democrat. It's still Beaverton is a subdivision of, no, the city of Beaverton is a subdivision of the county of Washington, is a subdivision of the state of Oregon, is a subdivision of the United States of Washington, District of Columbia, Inc. There's no way that a man or a woman, body, mind, spirit, flesh, blood, soul, aware, awake, can go to that court and expect to find remedy while still believing or thinking or knowing that there is actually the United States of America's Constitution and Oregon's Constitution circa 1859 in effect. It's not gone away. That is a jurisdiction. It is original jurisdiction. And we have it on Oregon. I don't know of any other place that has an Article 3, one Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction. We have Article 7, all caps, for our judiciary on Oregon, and Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record, and suits in common law, that outfit. That is the only legitimate law form, Jural, that is actually Article 3, where a man can find remedy. The feds out of Washington cannot put one together. Neither can the state of Oregon. They don't have the authority. So how can a man, a Marine, think that they can file into one of their courts and find remedy? I don't comprehend that. Then I hear that they think that they can step into the position of United States citizen and register to vote, which is something that I do also, and step into that jurisdiction and enter into contract with the United States of Washington, District of Columbia, Inc. in some form since March 1861, that is de facto, illegitimate, and illegal. And they're going to file into that form a case against that form to have that form pay you from a trust, Sesta trust, for a claim you put against it. You ever heard of Heather Ann Tucci Jarrett or something close to that? I followed that very closely. I listened to the dailies on that. I'm sorry, excuse me. You cannot claim to be a man or a woman on the land and soil on Oregon with all of your unalienable rights and step across into the U.S. citizenship arena and try and tap that arena for money to come to you. That's not reasonable. It's reasonable to tap that U.S. citizen and get a passport and a passport ID card. That's reasonable. You can step across and do that. You can step across and register long enough to vote in the U.S. citizens election. You know that it's de facto, but you can still participate and then step back. You have all that power. You are one of us on the land and soil. All power is inherent in the people. So you can do all of that. Should you? I don't know. But it doesn't seem reasonable to think that we come with an Article 3, one Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction, Article 7, Amendment 7, in suits in common law, and apply against them for due process and violation of our due process, and confront the evil that is being done to us. That's different from joining up in the de facto to tap into the evil that has been destroying us step by step, documented all along the way. You can't reasonably do both of those. It just doesn't work. You cannot ride two horses with one ass at the same time. You just can't. We are the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, the provisional government on Oregon without rebuttal for 7 years. We recently testified in Yamhill County to their commissioners in open court, 6 of us, regarding we think our sheriffs on Oregon, all 36 of them, should be completely certified with the proper credentials and all of their bona fides in order. Every one of them should. And we're looking into finding out why they aren't and correcting that. And the first one was Yamhill County. Looks really good from here. And I yield.
This is Kim, one of the people on Oregon. Where are our sheriffs? For the last several months, we have posted and made available what we worked on as a proper oath for the persons in our governance. Sheriffs are our first effort at insisting on a proper oath, for it is the sheriffs who are here in their county position to protect and defend the people. Protect them from what, some might say? From ticketing or sending people to an illegitimate amended Article 7 court that should not be. From governance overreach and taxation, they should assist seniors in the prevention of their eviction, from their loss of equity, their forever home, and all that they possess. Our Article 3, Amendment 7 Civilian Common Law Court of Record has made numerous visits and relentless communications to our county sheriffs on Oregon to offer a remedy from victimization of the people. How, you might ask? It is like a shift in the mind. It is the recognition of one's allegiance to life and to that which is God-given, rather than criminalizing living, God-made beings for a dead corporate entity. Our sheriffs are our first protection against governance overreach. The significance of elected government officials taking a proper oath to the original jurisdiction Constitution circa 1859 is a tremendous recognition. The oath is a promise to our God self, to our Creator God, and to people, not persons. Such a dejuration, taking a solemn oath, is needed for there to be remedy in our authoritative system of governance. Once a sheriff can make the shift, they can see themselves among the people, rather than a corporate entity meant to enforce our compliance to the bidding of the state. This cognition promises to be a release of tension, greater freedom, and cooperation. Let it be so. I yield.
Hello. I know less than the old man who knew nothing and he died. Rest in peace, Arnie. But I have this to say. It is in our best interest that you and your ilk should assume some responsibilities and obligations in addition to the norm. Read Article 1, Section 1. Natural rights inherent in people. We declared that all men, when they form a social compact, we did that. are equal in right, that all power is inherent in the people, and that all free governments are founded on their authority and instituted for their peace, safety, and happiness. And they have at all times the right to alter, reform, or abolish the government in such manner as they may think proper. We decided to return to a constitutional Republican form of government guaranteed by the Constitution of the United States of America and Oregon's Constitution circa 1859. That's how we do it. You cannot get there from here, solo or in groups or societies, fraternities, sororities, cults, or religions, assuming that your goal is Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion and on application of the legislature or the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. The only known way is with the social compact. How many others are there? Zero. There are only political parties, charlatans, phonies, liars, and thieves, false prophets, and those with another different, improved, new form of a de facto governance. It is all written down, thought out, printed out in two constitutions, circa 1859. We have facsimiles, as you do, and others. Originals and true copies exist, as does Bouvier's Law Dictionary, 6th edition, 2-volume, 1856, available on Amazon, printed in Troutdale. The only legitimate lexicon for our two constitutions, circa 1859, the first and second laws of the land and soil on Oregon, the state among the several states of the Confederation and Perpetual Union's articles, styled by the United States of America's Constitution and Oregon's Constitution, dated 1859, February, I believe. Oregon was removed from de facto on November 8, Oregon was removed from de facto of November 8, 1910, and returned to Jural November 2022. Signed, sealed, stamped, witnessed, proof of service, published on three Portland cable TV channels weekly, YouTube and Brighteon, and www.orsja.org. Not one rebuttal. The following were notified: U.S. DOJ, U.S. Marshal Services, U.S. Court, downtown Portland, the Marco Hatfield Building, the FBI, the U.S. Marine Corps, Department of Homeland Services, ICE, State of Oregon, aka all caps State of Oregon, Executive, Legislative, Judiciary, 36 sheriffs, 38 prosecutors, Oregon State Police, Oregon National Guard. For 8 years, they acquiesce and default. We are in Article 3, one Supreme Court claiming original jurisdiction. Article 7, all caps, Article 7, that's Oregon. Amendment 7, Civilian Common Law Court of Record, having implemented Ex parte Milligan on Oregon. We are the only jure court on Oregon. Not one other court, such as the United States Federal District Court on Oregon, Portland or Eugene or wherever they might have one. Any court affiliated with all caps Article 7 amended out of the Salem oligarchy. Not one of the justice or municipal courts or county courts has either a proper court or judge. Not one fulfills the requirements and obligations for the office. Requirements and obligations with proper oath and bondability to the laws of nature, nature's God included. Original jurisdiction. The system is so corrupt, courtesy of the Oregon State Bar and the Article 7 amended all cap sycophants, not one of them did the dastardly deed. They are one proper oath from Jural, just as the sheriffs, the Oregon State Police, and the Oregon National Guard. Now is the time to fish or cut bait. We need you to follow through with proper energy. All this needs lawful resolution, remedy, and I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car. And he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, they shot him 3 more times.